Hi, this is Stacia, and I'm going to show the analysis of a training game. Okay, that's a new intro for me. Yeah, we're going to look at a training game that I played on chess.com. So my goal was to break 1700, and that happened. So now my goal is to stay over 1700. Sometimes that's harder than it sounds. So this game, I actually got paired with someone rated 1481. Wasn't too happy about that, but I didn't look at the rating until I had already moved, made my first move. So I was like, wait, I probably would have aborted it otherwise. Because especially for training, you prefer equal or even tougher opponents. You don't really want significantly lower rated. But okay, it's chess, and there will be things I can learn. So I went for my old repertoire, the oldest part of my repertoire, the Benko Gambit. So A6, and he accepted the Gambit. And I'm sorry, I want to turn off the, well, I'm turning on, what I'm doing is turning on self-analysis. And I do realize that I'm going to have to fix my screen now, so feel free to fast forward ahead a few seconds if you want to. All right, let's get this going. All right, I think that's fairly good, right? So you can see the clock times, you see the ratings, the names. Okay, let's continue. I played the move G6, which is completely normal, and now E3. And here, I actually think E3 is kind of a weird move. They almost always go knight C3, and I'm checking the opening book to confirm. Oh yeah, knight C3 is the move, as well as G3. That's also understandable. Even knight F3, but E3, I think is already a bit of a concession for white, because you want to get E4 in one move, okay? Like, that's not true if you're not accepting the whole gambit. But when you play this move, you're wasting time. Okay, you're getting a pawn, but you're wasting time. So you cannot afford this as well. It's not recommended. So I don't like E3, but that was played. So I think we're out of theory at this point. So now I feel like I'm up a tempo in a normal Benko Gambit accepted. So let's see how that plays out. Yeah, and here I almost took with the knight. Let's see if that was any good. I decided not to. But if you take with the knight, yeah, it's still very good for white after knight C3. I think it's because, honestly, I think the light square bishop kind of gets in the way in the Benko Gambit. There's usually no good squares along this diagonal to even occupy. And same with this, so you mostly are going to trade off your light square bishop, and you're going to want to take whites with you if you can, so they don't have the two bishops. So I do think this is correct, and this is what I played. He did take, which I think is fine. And then I took with the knight. Alrighty, so now I was anxious to see how white would continue. I think he should basically develop his knights. And one thing I'm always cognizant of in the Benko Gambit is this plan here. Like, if white can accomplish this plan and counter what is otherwise my strongest piece in the Benko Gambit, that usually bodes well for white. So he played knight C3. And see, this is a tempo too late, because knight C3 helps you get E4. So playing E3 and knight C3 next, to me that just shows like a misunderstanding of the opening. You know, like he's just making moves. He doesn't really know what he's doing. Bishop G7. And if you're watching this, Danny, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you should maybe put more thought into your opening moves. Bishop G7, H3. Again, H3. What is that? What does that do? There's no bishop G4, and knight G4, yeah, that's kind of wanted, but I'm going to be going d6 and knight d7. That's the other option. So I don't understand h3. It feels like just a move. And yeah, usually the computer hates the Benko and says like white's like plus 0.9. That's the normal eval. And already it says equal after queen a5. So I almost played queen a5. I did. The reason being it pins the knight. I mean, that's basically why. And then that means he still can't play e4 because I would take it. And it also allows knight e4 even without the pawn. And maybe that's useful, but I decided against it and I just simply castled. Because I'm up a tempo. Do I really need to get fancy? You know, I'm up a tempo, maybe 2 tempos. Yeah, so I think if I play normal, opportunities will come. That's how I feel about gaining tempos. All right, knight f3. d6, total normal move. And yeah, the idea is knight to d7. And you might be thinking, why do I want knight to d7? Well, the answer is very simple. The knight is not very good on f6. I can't really go anywhere or do anything. See how all the squares are not good. So knight d7 reroutes the knight, but it also opens up the bishop. And that is important because that plan I was talking about, b3, well, if the bishop's open, he can't play b3 because of bishop takes knight check. So knight d7 is a very useful move to get in. Also knight g5, sometimes it goes that way instead of knight d7, but kind of the same idea mostly. Okay, castles. Queen b6. Now I know in the Benko you can choose to go to any of these squares is good for the queen. Or not good, depending on the position. But I pretty much always go queen b6 because knight a4 is really never a big problem. And I'm learning how to maneuver my queen in the event of knight a4. So I feel very comfortable with that. So, okay. So now e4, yeah. So white's admitting that he lost a tempo. Not something you want to do in a Gambit opening. So here comes knight d7. Let's see what the computer says. Yeah, knight d7, the clear best move. Okay. So let's see if we can learn something. Another natural move would be this. But I was wondering about the move b3. Well, that hangs the knight. Yeah, it hangs the knight. Never mind. So I guess we'd have to do this first. But like, let's just try for a second. Well, now there's knight b4. Okay, hang on. Maybe this move. Let's try this. This looks weird though, blocking the bishop, but I'm really going to try to do this. Okay, and I'm not going to play knight d7. And let's see what happens. Gosh, if I'm not playing knight d7 though, then what am I playing? Okay, yeah, never mind. I would definitely play knight d7, so. All right, so we're doing fine as black. Not sure what I was seeing. Yeah, knight d7, and then he played knight a4. So this is a tempo move, but, you know, I don't think white should play this unless there's a good reason. Because my queen can actually get to a better square this way. Computer likes queen a5. Didn't really consider that one. I went queen to b5. And yes, I'm kind of offering for the knight to jump back. And then sometimes, best move is queen b6, but you can also go, I was considering this move though. Is this bad? Yeah, it kind of is. It allows a3. Yeah, and without the rook here, this isn't a good plan because next I should go queen b3, but I can't. So yeah, so for all of these reasons, queen b5 isn't that great. And instead, queen a5 is recommended. And I kind of understand this move. Part of the reason is that we're just maintaining, you know, we're maintaining the attack on this knight because it hinders the queen a bit. So that's the point of that. And like I said, if queen c7, we're going to have this. And that could be annoying. And then if queen here, we have rook over. So the queen would basically have to retreat back. And that means this isn't a good move, because where's the knight going? He's not going anywhere. So yeah, so I don't think knight a4 is good. But I just learned that I could reposition my queen better. Yeah, and now we're going to cut the video short because my opponent blundered. But I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about blunders, and also because I want to share every game that I'm playing right now. Part of the reason I'm doing that is because sometimes I lose and I get mad and I don't want to analyze or share it. So when I lose, I'm going to put myself under pressure to actually share it with you guys, because I'm sure I will lose soon. All right, so yeah, queen d7. Now, why would my opponent make a move like that? And the answer is he thought way longer than he did on any move. And I've had this happen to me as a chess player too. You'll be like, hey, I need to make a move, but I can't move my queen. And then you'll go like, oh, okay, how about b3? No, that drops the rook. And then you'll go, how about e5? No, that doesn't work. And you'll start looking at other moves like, oh, this looks pointless. I don't really want to do that. And I don't really want to do a3. Like, I know I should improve my queen, you know, and now that your train of thought has visited so many other places since the first conclusion that you can't move your queen, then you move it and you're like, oh, I just undefended my knight. And I'm guessing if he's anything like me, he probably moved his queen and went, oh, I just blundered my knight. I hope my opponent doesn't see it, you know, but of course I did see it. So after this, he resigned, probably in disgust. I still don't think you should resign right away. I think you should try to make the position crazy as possible. And, you know, when you do that, people play overconfident when they're a piece up, and then sometimes they blunder a piece back. And then once they do that, they're so disgusted with themselves that maybe they just lose the game entirely. So I maintain my advice of never resign. Okay, if I'm an IM someday, then I will stop saying that. But until then, all club players should not resign like the grandmasters do. We want to be like grandmasters and play their moves, but don't resign, because if a grandmaster was playing a 1400 player and they were down a piece, they would not resign, I guarantee it. So I'm still being like the grandmasters in that sense. So okay, we'll keep this video short then. I mean, I guess there wasn't much to it, sorry about that, but I'll be back with more. In the meantime though, I did gain some more rating points, so I'm at 1714, and yes, I'm gonna go full guns blazing. Is that, I'm not sure what I'm saying, but I'm going for 1800. So I'm pretty excited, and I hope that you're excited too. Adults don't usually improve at chess, so I'm breaking some rules for adults right now. Hashtag feels good, man. All right, see you later. Bye.